Nice to see you again. So the World Backup Day is coming. Before this webinar, we have received some common questions that users are interested in, and we are very excited to share with you the backup-related topics in today's webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to post your questions into the Q&A box, and our colleague will answer you as soon as possible. So today's webinar will be split into 4 sections. The first part is the background of the World Backup Day. And the second part is to share with you the popular topics that you may be interested in based on the results of the survey we have launched before. And the third part is a very brief introduction of Winching's backup and recovery solution. And you can see if our backup tool is appropriate for you or not. And then the last section is the most exciting part. There will be one lucky audience have the chance to win our $50 Amazon card. So let's get started. What is Backup Day? So first, let's take a look at the background of World Backup Day. The festival is on March 31st, originated from 2011. It is initiated by a group of technology experts and the data management companies to raise the global awareness of the importance of backups. I think you've already understand the concept of backup. You can take it as a safety net for your digital life, and it's a spare copy for your important file and data in case something wrong goes with your digital device. And you can think of it as a digital insurance policy. And for the enterprises level users, establishing a very comprehensive backup data protection plan is very crucial because facing a data loss or the business interruption could be very devastating for some companies. So here we are on the World Backup Day. It is a day to remind you to establish a proper backup habits, and then because it is very because data is very crucial asset in modern society. And it is very funny that many people make joke that the World Backup Day is just the day before April 4th. So backup today in case anyone breaks your data and fools you in the name of April 4th. Don't be fooled and make sure you have a backup all the time.
Yeah, thanks Cecilia for the funny introduction of World Backup Day. And I believe that backup is very important, no matter for personal users or for enterprise. And so for the second part, we will just talk about some popular topics that related to backup. And we can go to the first question. Here we come to the first question is, why is data backup important? And how to find the most suitable backup solution? Well, I think this is a very general topic for some users who just started to make backup plan, how to find the appropriate backup plan according to their situation. And for this question, I just want to ask Cecilia, as a backup software product manager, do you have some ideas that can share with them?
Yes, sure. This is a very good question, and I like it. And I'm very glad that more and more people are raising their awareness of the importance of backup. So why is data backup very important nowadays? As I mentioned before, cyber attacks can be everywhere around us, including the network virus, human errors, the ransomware and malwares, even natural disasters. In modern society, most of the company's data is very crucial assets. Once the data loss or the business interruption occurs, the resulting losses are immeasurable usually. And this is especially devastating for the small to medium-sized enterprises. we did some online research for the statistics related to the cyber attacks. And you can see the statistics shows the severity of the negative impact on the data loss crisis. There is 70% of possibility that small business go out of business within 1 year after the data loss incident. And there's 67% of mid-sized business suffered ransom attack in the past, and 60% of incomplete backups. So even if you did the backup, there is still 50% possibility that the restored data may fail. And then there's 20% possibility that for the small to medium-sized company or even the medium to the large enterprise companies, they may face the possibility of the data being lost or being attacked. So this is a picture that I found very funny online. And you can see the four of them have different attitude about backup. So which stage are you currently at? What is your current backup plan? And how frequently do you have your backup plan? So feel free to type your answer into the chat box and we can have a small talk about this later on. And I guess that many of you have backed up your critical data before, more or less. But is it a appropriate backup solution for you? And how could we guarantee that our backup plan is nearly 100% safety? So first of all, I think it depends on your backup scenario and your backup needs. If you are an individual user, you may only need one copy of the backup. That is enough. But if you are an enterprise level user, then it is crucial to ensure data security because for small to medium-sized companies, the cost of losing data is huge. And it is better to make sure you have a proper backup plan to prevent the data loss. And make sure that you have a quickly restored plan that if your data have lost. And for the large enterprises with branch offices, they usually have the disaster recovery requirements, such as backup to cloud or to the remote data center in case any disaster happened. However, no matter what size of the enterprises, here we would like to introduce with you the 3-2-1 golden backup rule. Based on this strategy, you can ensure that your data is always in the safest state because the data can be always restored from any accidents.
Cecilia, you mentioned about the 3-2-1 strategy. This is actually a very recommended strategy for enterprise to comprehensively protect their data assets.
Yes.
And I think for some users who are familiar with the backup industry, they will know 3-2-1 strategy. But for those users who just start to make their backup plan, I think this may be a very abstract concept for them. So maybe could you just share more about it?
Yes, for sure. I'd like to explain with you more about the 3-2-1 golden backup strategies. So to keep your data safe, secure, and always recoverable from any disasters, it is suggested that your backup, your infrastructure to maintain the 3 copies of your data on 2 different storage types and keep one of your copy data on the local storages and another copy stored offsite or in the cloud. Because in this way, when a site level disaster strikes, you can switch to the offsite data center to continue running your business. And for data that needs to be retained for a long time but is rarely used, you can also choose to restore it in the cloud to meet the relevant data rotation policy and the local data security laws and regulations. And Cloud Archive can be also used as a disaster recovery solution to recover the data from the cloud. So after we understand the importance of data backup, here comes another very interesting question I would like to ask Spring. So in the event of the emergency cases, such as human errors and malware attacks, how can we swiftly restore the business critical workloads?
Well, of course, the best scenarios is that we hope it will never happen, but just in case any bad situation, we can do some preparation in advance. Like you can just set up a regular backup and recovery plan, like a weekly or monthly full backup with the daily incremental backup, and also to set up your disaster recovery plan and training your employees, let them know how to do the recovery. And also at the same time have a monitor center or alerts that will let you know the real status of your current business system. And then once it's happened, we can just have the backup data to quickly recover it. And those are things we can prepare in advance. And the next thing we need to consider is how to short the recovery process. So for this one, I would like to share with you how Windchill can short the RTO. Okay, so now you see on this slide, we have a instance restore feature. You can resume your business within 1 minute. This is a very powerful feature for you to maintain business continuity. And actually, this is designed for your critical business event. If unfortunately there's an emergency situation that got down, you can just use this feature to resume your business system. Yeah, that's how Windchill can help you to short the recovery process. And that's for the second question. And now we come to the third question, how to protect against the ransomware and any other potential threats which can affect backup and data. Well, for this question, I think this is a more professional question. Because for the second question, we're talking about how we can quickly recover it once the data is lost. But actually, it's not enough. Before disaster happened, what we can do to prevent it and how we can guarantee that the backup data is also not affected by ransomware, it can be recoverable. So for this question, I would like to ask Cecilia.
Yeah. I think this is a very typical question that many people are concerned about, because nowadays ransomware virus and malwares are one of the biggest threats to data security, and the losses causes are usually very tremendous, and especially to small to medium-sized enterprises, usually they will lead to the devastating results. So we have summarized some methods to prevent such security breaches. Firstly, it is also very important to train and enhance the employees' security awareness, such as avoiding downloading, opening, or clicking on files and links that is from the unknown sources. Secondly, installing and regularly updating the antivirus software and firewalls to detect and block the malware intrusion. Thirdly, regularly updating the patches for operating system, applications, and software to fix the already known security vulnerabilities. And the next point is to emphasize on the access control and permission management, such as using the multi-factor authentication rules. And another critical point is to regularly back up the important data and storing the backup data in the offsite center or the cloud storage whenever possible. And the last but very important point is to establish an emergency response plan to ensure rapid business recovery within the shortest RTO in case the ransomware attacking the business causes the business outage. And so for the solution to ensure the business continuity, like Spring just talked about, the functionality like the instant restore to quickly recover the business within 1 minute is one of the very efficient and reliable solution to deal with the ransomware attacking. So we have emergency plan for instantly restoring the lost data, but how can we make sure that the backup data we want to restore is always clean and recoverable? So here I'd like to share with you Vincent's solution for ransomware protection of backup data. It is called storage protection functionality in Vincent backup and recovery, and it's a built-in functionality without any extra configurations and deployment. And let's see how it works. So basically, the principle is that on the Vincent backup and recovery, there is a daemon process will be applied to monitor the I/O requests from all applications within Vincent backup infrastructure. And only the I/O requests from Vincent application are allowed to write and modify the backup data inside the Vincent backup storage. And requests from other applications will all be blocked. And with the storage protection enabled, even the root users of Vincent backup server cannot delete the backup data from the command line interface. So it also can prevent the backup data from any accidental or malicious human deletion. So yeah, that is my opinion for this topic. And next, here comes another question. Spring, you know that VMware has changed its license mode recently, and a lot of users may wish to switch to another virtualizations. So from Vinci's aspect, because we support up to 15 market mainstream virtualizations, and we have done some related research for it, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any suggestions for it?
Yes, actually, the V2V migration topic is not related to backup, but recently we do got many customer demands that they want to switch from VMware to other virtualizations. We think this is also the topic that you may be interested in. And as a backup vendor, we are compatible with the 15 mainstream virtualizations, and we're familiar with those virtualizations. So from Vinci's side, we would like to share with you some of our ideas when choosing an appropriate virtualizations. Here I listed some key considerations for choosing a VMware alternative, like to consider the compatibility with your existing infrastructure, like ensure the software aligns with your current hardware and OS environments. Also check the ease of integration of your existing system or applications. Also consider the scalability, performance needs, how this software can work well according to your business growth demand. And also check their resources availability, like their knowledge base, their API documentation, their best practice documentation, and other technical documentation. Also check their support level, what kind of support they can provide, like by email, by phone call, by tickets, and do they support like 24 hours, 7 days? What is their support like? And also consider the security features and compliance requirements. Make sure that this software it apply with your specific industry security or regulation demands. And for the long-term consideration, also consider the vendor's reputation, their reliability, and consider the long-term operating cost, like the maintaining, the training cost. Also consider the usage and management. Of course, the most important consideration is your budget. And the next slide, we do do some research before, like which platform is the most popular platform people will choose, and the result shows Proxmox is the most popular one that people would like to choose, and it's also very obviously, because Proxmox is very easy to deploy. It's very easy to use. It supports both virtualization and also supports container. You have a very flexible option. But the biggest drawback of Proxmox is currently it doesn't support commercial supports. But I think for this one, after more and more people will choose it, they will optimize their support mechanism. So if you are looking for a VMware alternative, I think Proxmox can be a very good choice for you. And some others platform also performs very good, like OpenStack. It's has a very abundant feature, and it's also very flexible to deploy. You can create and manage VMs on multiple hypervisor, including VMware, Hyper-V, XenServer, KVM, and some others. And you can also customize it according to your requirements. And because OpenStack is a totally open source solution, you can largely reduce your IT budget if you choose OpenStack. But the biggest drawback of OpenStack is that because it has a very abundant feature, it also caused it very complex to deploy, very complex to operate, especially for the IT operator. They have a very deep learning curve. It has a complicated network configuration, very complicated components. So this is I think a big challenge for learning OpenStack. And some others platform also performs very good, like Citrix, Nutanix, Hyper-V, and others. And if you are interested in the results, our research results after this webinar, you can contact us for it. We also have a related article in our website. You can have a check. We come to the next slide. Okay, so here is the last question: how to choose appropriate migration tools for V2V migration. So I think that's also a thing you need to consider after users choose their target virtualizations, how to migrate their VM from VMware to target virtualization. For this question, again, I want to ask Cecilia.
Yeah, well, I think this is another frequent asked questions recently, and I guess many users are concerned about it and seeking for a convenient and appropriate solution. So we did some research on the V2V migration solution available in the market and found some common migration methods. So let me share with you with it. The first solution is manual virtual disk conversion. Usually, the migration solution is to extract the VMDK files from the source platform, and by using the third-party tools to write the scripts to transform the VMDK files to the format that is compatible with the targeted platform, then manually import them to the targeted platform one by one. This method has some limitations, such as the migration can be only performed in one direction, but cannot be reversible. And the operation process can be very troublesome, and the administrator cannot do it in batches. Each time the exporting and format conversion could be a very long process, which consumes a lot of time and manpower. And the second common solution on the market is an agent-based solution. Normally, it needs to install agents on each guest OS of virtual machine. The principle of the agent-based migration solution is to do the bare metal recovery for each virtual machine. But this solution also has some drawbacks. The operation process can be very troublesome and complicated, and the migration cannot be achieved in batches as well. This leads to the whole installation and configuration process are both time-consuming and labor-consuming. And sometimes it exists a problem that when the migration job is done, the migrated virtual machine on the targeted platform cannot be functioned well because of the incompatibility issues with the targeted platform. And this makes all the migration job useless. So here, I'd like to introduce you with the third method, Vincent solution. This V2V migration solution is in an agentless way. As you can see in the picture on the right side, we support most of the market mainstream virtualizations bidirectional V2V migration, which means you can migrate from VMware to Hyper-V, from Hyper-V to VMware. It is very flexible. And the second point is the operation process. Mentions V2V migration is based on backup and recovery process, and it is very simple and easy to understand. Just backup virtual machines on the original web platform and restore the virtual machines to the targeted platform, just like performing the normal restore, the backup and recovery steps. There is no extra configurations or any agent installation in this process. And another point is that Mention supports batch virtual machines backup and migration. This means you can only create one job for running a large amount of virtual machines, migrate from one virtualization to another virtualization automatically without manual attendance during the process. It's greatly saving the administrator's time. Besides, if you want to reduce the business downtime and maintain business continuity, we support instant V2V restore functionality. Normally, the RTO will be less than 1 minute for establishing an instant restored virtual machine. Okay, I think that is all for this part. These are all the questions and answers that commonly mentioned by our users. So now I believe you learned about the importance of backup, and you may be interested in how to choose an appropriate backup tool. So for this part, please allow me a few minutes to give you a very brief introduction about Vincent backup and recovery solution, and you can take this moment to see if our product meets your requirement or not. So Vincent Backup and Recovery is an innovative data protection solution for both virtual and physical environment. The virtual machine backup is image-based agentless backup solution and compatible with most of the market mainstream virtual platforms, including VMware, Hyper-V, Xen, and KVM virtualizations. For physical backup, it supports agent-based application, consistent database backup, server backup, file and NAS device backup to protect your entire Windows and Linux server system. The backups of this data can be stored in the on-premise storage and can be sent to the remote venture server, to the offsite data center for the disaster recovery need, or it can be archived to the cloud object storages. And for different application scenarios, we can also provide with the most suitable solutions for enterprise-level users. It is applicable for both the small to medium-sized business with the most cost-effective solution, and for the large enterprises with the data scale to PB level data size. And here are the key features that we can provide for the business. First is the fast and reliable backups. It includes a wide range of built-in advanced functionalities. As you can see here, we support LAN-free transmission, data deduplication and compression, and data encryption. For recovery, we provide flexible recovery options, including full restore, granular file level restore, instant restore, and cross-platform restore. Besides, we support offsite copy and cloud archive for disaster recovery requirements. And we have the built-in ransomware protection functionality, as I mentioned before in the Q&A session. And so all of this is an all-in-one solution with only one unified platform and one license. And here are the key strengths that we can provide for our customers. Firstly, venture backup and recovery is very easy to deploy and easy to use with no learning curve. It is very fast and easy to get started just within 30 minutes. And the second advantage is our solution is highly scalable. It is easy to expand to the PB level data size environment and without any extra license needed. And besides, we provide 24/7 quick response technical support with multiple technical support methods that you can choose based on your requirement. And our solution is very cost effective with a very good performance. Okay, so that is a brief introduction of our product. So next, please let me invite Spring to quickly show you the interface and the functionalities that mention backup and recovery, then you can have a better understanding.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Cecilia, for the introduction. And next, just let me to briefly to show our system. Now you see this is a Vinci backup recovery system. It's very straightforward. And the left side is the function module. The right side is the home page. And also the page is also very beautiful. This is a compliment we got from our customer. And here in the function module, we have the module center. You can check all the details of your jobs, alerts, logs, and also reports. For items that we can protect, first is virtual machine. You can back up the virtual machine and restore. Here for instance restore, this is the feature we mentioned in the presentation before. You can use it for your business critical VM. The RTO will less than 1 minute with this feature. And you can also send your backup data to different storage, like the secondary storage or offsite storage. Also, you can keep it in cloud. So this is for VM backup module. And next is physical backup. In this session, we have the file backup database backup, operating system server backup. You can also send your backup data to offsite or offsite disaster recovery demand. We also support NAS backup. And those are items that we can protect for you. And regarding to the 3-2-1 strategy we mentioned before, here you can see we support a lot of type of storage, local disk or offsite storage. You can keep your backup data at offsite, and we also support cloud object storage. You can keep your backup data in cloud. And in this way, how Windstream can do the 3-2-1 backup strategy. And regarding to the storage protection feature for ransomware, so with this feature, if you enable it, it can prevent your backup system from ransomware and malwares to protect your backup data, ensure your data security. And with this feature enabled, even the root user cannot delete or modify any data from the command line interface. So this can also avoid some malicious or accidental deletion. Okay, so that's just a very brief demonstration of our system. And next, let's go back to the slide. The next slide we're going. Okay, so for this slide, because we will release our new version in May very soon, and in our new version, there's some new features that we will support. Like in the new version, we will support cloud backup and recovery. You can directly backup a cloud instance. And we also support directly backup, copy, or archive your data to cloud. This is a feature that our customer asked many times before. We will also support exchange backup. And next, very important feature, CDP. This is also many of our customers asked before. In the new version, we will also support it and some other features. And so if you are interested in those new features, maybe you can also come to our new version release webinar to have a look and also have a test of them.